to deal with this old, it's a little flimsy, so we'll straighten that up real quick here. It could use a little reinforcement, if you know what I mean. So, see if we can do it. Either way, we're going to have to sink one in there. This way. See what happens. I'll try to get it. So don't shoot through too much. Let me see if I can do that. I didn't shoot through at all. Good. We'll do that on this one. I've seen it move it, so. Doesn't feel any stronger. Let's try another shot. That does feel a little stronger. And we'll just shoot them where it kind of counts. I don't know where it really counts. Things are so old. No staple sticking through, so that is a good thing. We got this corner. I'm having deja vu right now. I've done this before. I've been here or something. Pretty sure I've done it before. Like not that long ago. So they feel better. These are literally from like the 50s for real. So that's good enough. It's not so loose feeling. This one's a little loose yet, so let's see if we can. Is that gonna matter? Nope. So we got to shoot this way. No staple sticking out. So that's good, but this should only take a couple more seconds to get this thing out of the way. It's not a big deal. Then now we can get these frames loaded up in our box we painted last night, which is now dry. And we'll throw some old frames back in there. I need some with, it's got some pretty good wax on it, but I need some fresh stuff. Here's one. Here we go. This has got some fresh cone on it, so that'll get the bees back in here a little quicker, hopefully. Two of those would be nice. Here's some wire ones I did. Just got wire down them. Those will work too. They'll do their own cone on that. Gotta use them all. There's another wire one. One more in that. You know, this one here slid all the way to this side, so there's no air gap in there, which there should be, but that thing hasn't moved in years. Heat it up, maybe, huh? Kind of moved. That's about it, I think. We got a little gap there now. It's not much, but there's at least a little air. That should be good on that. So now this goes on the bottom, which we painted this last night too. That goes on the bottom of this box. Those two are ready. Now we need a bottom that was dusty that we have to paint, so that way the Hive obviously is off the ground. That's what this is, and let's paint it. Get it done. Some quick white. It's already, what, April 23rd, so I have I'm supposed to have these done kind of already. Be swarm season here soon. And good old Michigan. So now we need a brush. This paint's getting so thick. It's so old. Now what should I start with here? Let's see, this will be the top. Let's do the bottom first. Kind of makes sense. I gotta dust this thing off. Okay, looks a little better. Maybe I'll start with the side. I left my brush out last night too, so it kind of hardened. Yep. It's working. That's a lot of damn painting. It don't have to be like 100%, but you know, we get it 99 anyway, eh? Here we go. No time at all, we'll get this painted. I hear the sewer truck, I guess, so to speak. And I know they're not carrying cow poop in there. It smells way different. And then I noticed they're spreading it on the fields where they grow corn, so I'm not sure. I've seen the same damn truck at the sewer plant. And I don't know, I was thinking about calling that in and seeing if they're putting human waste on cornfields. Because I sure the hell don't want to be eating that crap. I'll gladly eat cow poop before anything else. In that case, I'm not for this going green that much. That's good on that layer there. But yeah, it's just hard saying what certain farmers do nowadays. And especially if my bees are pollinating off the corn. You know, they're getting some pollen maybe off that corn that was grown in human waste. I'm good. Because it don't smell like cow dung. I grew up pretty much around farms and small farm ourselves. Shit ain't right. What do you guys think? Probably okay. Those farmers be putting human feces in the ground, tilling it under, and grow your crops in it. Yep, bees. Yeah, good old bee boxes anyway. About the only bee I like besides bumblebees. Bumblebees are okay. Wasp and ground bees and whatever other bees. Cicada killers. And Chinese wasp, I'm good on all that crap. I will suit up, of course, and exterminate them. There goes my daylight. I gotta open my door back up. Alright, quick little paint job. I will try to get in here a little bit. So this is the base stand for the beehive, the bottom. Get a little bit in here. Yeah, I'm running a little late with kinda. I mean, I'm on time, but every day that goes by, I'm always working on something else or working in general, and then doing bees. We'll get a little in here. Weatherproof. Even the slightest coat will help keep that rain out of the actual wood. It should be good there. And then we'll do, let's see, I'm going to have to get that'll help us. This thing's got some weight to it though. A little bit for how small it is. Bottom bases are not usually that pretty, but once it's on together painted, it won't be able to, it'll do its job, and that's basically all we care. You could probably do it like that, and where it's, you know, kind of blotty a bit, so to speak. It would still last longer than raw wood. But we'll do another coat. At least give it one good coat. So I'm also doing, I'm putting blocks, I guess, before I put this on the ground, I put center blocks down. That way this is also off the ground. Do a little under here. We got one more side, which is an easy side. Get it good and thick right there. Yeah, a lot of people don't like bees, you know. I love honeybees. You gotta respect them at least, because they are what keep us humans and everything kind of going. Between the pollinating and making their natural remedy that they do. Okay, so we got a good start on that. Could be doing other things, right? Could be. Do I want to be? Probably not. Probably not. That's good enough. Okay. There we go. Right on the base of that chunk of plywood. I use real plywood there too. I try to stay away from particle board, but sometimes you got to. You really want to paint those really good if you use particle board, chipboard. Plywood preferable. 1/2 inch works. This is 3/4. Now we'll get a little paint in here. there, nice and thick. There we go. This side. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Now I do this crap so that I do have a good day. Honestly, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have stuff to do. I'll make myself have something to do. I can't sit around. I just can't. Never took a nap in my life. Maybe, you know, when I was really sick, but you can't really count that. But just to take a nap, nope. Can't do it. I'd rather go for a walk out back in the woods or go to the dunes or heck, anything. You go to the dunes, go to the lake, just down the road. Look for beach glass, cool rocks, you know, keep the mind busy. Hold on, guys. I got someone here probably for firewood or maybe honey. Oh yeah. All right. That was my boy with a load of wood is what that was. Soon to start getting the tourists in here around. Which I'm kind of tucked back away from those guys anyway. Alright, that's good on that. Let's clean up our slop right there. I think we got all four sides now. Good enough. Now we can start with our bottom and then flip it over. I'm gonna have to allow myself some more room here. My whole table flip over or something. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need that in a minute anyway. Let that stay on. Bees, bees, bees. They are fun though, the bees, the honeybees. I let them, I'll put, when I'm all honeyed up or whatever, of course, they'll just come and just stick all over your hands and get all that sweet stuff off. Very interesting. Gives you that tickle on your skin, you know. I guess kind of the same thing as when a spider or something gets on you. I guess I should say a butterfly because most people don't like spiders either. I don't mind them, you know, spiders. I used to have a phobia of spiders, and now it doesn't matter. I'll pick it up, unless it's super poisonous. But Not sure what broke me in on spiders. Probably Florida. So many nasty fucking bugs down there. Spiders. After going down there for a few years for work, not play. I did play, but I went for work. Explored after work, yeah, all kinds of different creatures and things that'll get you out in the ocean. I've had a couple close calls, that's for sure. Done some stupid shit. Fell asleep one time on a jet ski. I did take a nap, actually. The sun was so hot down there, I laid back on the jet ski. Getting a little bit of sun down there, you know. Sun we never get up here. And ended up drifting out in the Atlantic Ocean. That's what I did. By the time I woke up, I must have had went under the bridges and everything and headed right out into the Atlantic Ocean. Imagine that. Waking up, evening, still on your jet ski. And I couldn't see land. It took me, I didn't want to move from that spot. That was one of the very alarming. Not being able to see land in any sight, not know which direction to go. And luckily I sat there, I don't know how long, it seemed like hours, looking to which direction I should go as I'm drifting 7 miles an hour with the current. But I ended up picking up a faint light, and I wasn't sure if it was a boat or a mirage, but yeah, that was quite interesting by myself at that. Water looked darker than ever. Get a little bit on these. But I ended up making it back to shore. I was off quite a few miles, so I still had to pinpoint my location and where I came from. So there's the bottom, about done. Another little coat on this one. I thought I was, honestly, I thought that was it. I was done. Jet ski, out in the ocean. I must have been at least 3+ miles anyway, easily. I didn't count the miles, but man, once I started seeing that it was actually shore, it was a relief. Shit's scary. Let's put a little extra paint right in that hole there. There we go. Alright, bottom looks good. So now we're going to go to the face side. If I can do this. Okay. Flipperoo. There we go. Last side. Not too bad. I do got my mark right here for this piece. This is the piece that actually goes there. It'll fit like that after we paint that. And then the orange box will sit on that piece. Look at my nail holes, huh? can't really see them, but man, that framing gun really sinks them babies in there too much. This is the front. I'm gonna have to really dab some paint in those holes. Holy shit. Big old nail hole right there. I should have filled them with wax, but too late. I don't feel like doing it. We can. We can. I do got wax right here. Basically got a nail hole right there. I'll set some wax in it. Got a nail hole right there. I'll set some wax on it. Here's a big hole. Stick that chunk of wax right in there, and then we'll heat it. Yeah, everything always takes a little longer, don't it? Oh well, what do you do? There we go. Set some wax right on it. Down on this. Down on this. There we go. Some wax on it. We'll melt it right into those holes. If the torch works. Couple right here too where I painted. Oh, come on. Okay. I thought there was a bee in here. Trying to sniff out boxes. There goes a big fly. I'll stick these chunks of wax in these holes here. Yeah, no, we started painting, right? And then we're filling in holes kind of ass backwards. But it'll work out. That one, we'll do a little there. And that should, right where we painted, now we'll melt those in. Use the old finger then. Little melt. Little melt. That's hot. Woo. Okay. Little melt. Like that. Melt. Here's the chunk. Melted. Running out of, those things suck. It's about done, and then we can paint the top of this. A couple more spots. Now, got one more hole right there. Part of getting where'd it go? Oh, right here. You know the saying, happy bees, happy me. Probably just my saying, but there we go. Good enough. A couple minutes to cure there. These ones are already pretty much done. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that, we missed a couple, who cares? We're going to pack these ones with paint. much as I love that little mini torch, it doesn't work half the time. Now I'm going to put some paint on it. Here we go. How much paint that takes? Just to get it going, trying to. Right over our wax. That wax paint's pretty nice, don't it? This is our front right here, and I can't forget that because that's still taking a lot of paint to get in those crevices there. A lot of paint. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're just about there. Now that looks like a V-box bottom that will last some years. And we'll get back to the bottom area. And there is the bottom. I think it's pretty done. I think so. There's a little hole right there. Fill those in. That should be good. This is going to have to dry, and then once it gets pretty dry, and then we can put our bottom piece on that. Okay, so that can dry for a little bit. So we got that coated pretty good last night. Got the ends. Yep. Do a little extra on this. Looked a little light there. That won't take much longer to dry. I think I'm all done with the white paint, which is groovy. Okay. Paint lid. We'll give that a few minutes, and then should be ready for that bottom piece. That is the hole. Yep. And then while that's drying, I'm going to set this. Set that down. We can build a couple more frames. Where's my pieces at? One more piece of wood. That'll work. I'll go set this down so I can dry. And so two more wax foundations. I think that's my last two until I order more foundations. We can build these two. I made these two for the top of the frame. And then I have those, to those. Now we're going to see if my fitment's right. It's a little loose, but that doesn't matter. We're going to shoot it. Went a little deep on my groove there, so we'll just set this in here and we can probably nail that right down right now. Like that. This one fit nice. Nice and tight. Flush there, so we're flush. We'll shoot that too, I guess. Now we're ready for our bottom piece. Like that. Oop. Don't be scared. No staples sticking out in any corner, so it's good to go. Got that one, just ready for foundation. Yeah, this one's fitting good too. Flush there. That was a little loose. We'll shoot it now. Like that. Staples. It's together. Now we put some of these last two foundations in these. See how they go. That's ready to go. Slide it in that center groove. This one seemed a bit loose. Didn't snap in quite, so to speak, but not coming out, so should be good. We're done with this. There's our yeller. There's our new frames. There's the one we just put together. Another we just put together. These we did last night on the other live stream. Now I'm going to need a couple with some comb on them. I can. Oh yeah. put this in here. Actually, I'll separate one of these. Put the cone right there. Here's some really old frames. Depends what we want. Looks pretty good. And we got a blue box. Same thing. I think this is an eight frame holder. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. This one's got the spacers already put in. This is another old box. Now I'm having to be short. Mediums. This is. Start there. Skip one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got room for the last one. Either that or I put a you always put a feeder in also. I think I'd have to lose. I think yeah, but I have to lose. I don't want to do that. I'm actually probably going to do away with these types of feeder boxes and just do a top feed. I had bees make cone in there after they eat everything, and then after you forget to take that out, they'll make cone in there. Kind of hard to get out. So I need one more medium. I might have to wait and get after I'm done spinning, 'cause I got some in the spinner too. When I'm done spinning, then I'll have extras. So this will be a top. We'll set this aside. We got that red hive right there. Red, blue, yellow. I think we'll go red, yellow, blue. How do I actually want to do that? Maybe I will go. I'll have to borrow one of these. Yep, we're gonna borrow probably that one. I want to get the bees in the bottom of the box first anyway. So here's their hole. I got the hole plugged on that yellow one. I got the hole plugged on the red, and I can unplug them quick. It's just wax. I use just a wax ball. So there's that. You like that. And then the yellow. Maybe I'll put, this is what we'll do. We'll do this right now. Put the excluder on. She'll go just like that. This hive is, boxes are ready. I need one more medium in there. Top. I should have two more tops. Okay, there's that one goes to the orange. So yeah, that works out. We got one there, and I think this is my extra. Like that, and then we can stick our top on it. We just got to get one more, eventually add another medium in there. There's the top. That hive box will be ready right there. And then we got this orange one to do. Bottom's still drying over here. Yeah, I should bring it out to the sunshine and help it a little faster. Now I got to make sure that we did get all the deeps are in the bottom. Okay, that's good. Yep, so that is fully done. We got two extra deeps. Now I got to figure out. Oh, you know what I did? I am shy on deeps. On the deeps here. This box is full. But for that orange box down here, I got 2 for it. I need 8 more. I got 1 in the spinner, in that spinner. paint. Yep, so I will have to order probably another, well, I have to order another 10 anyway, and then I'll probably order another 10 for the other box, and then I gotta order another 10, so I'll order 30 more deets. And then we will build another one of these Hive boxes, these trap boxes here. Which this one's basically ready to go. This one needs a frame already, a foundation. That is a tight fit. How about some of it's because I didn't clean where these meet together. It's not bad. But they're gummed up. It'll keep them from closing and sitting together. A little bit on that one. Not horrible though. At all. I'd have to say it wasn't doing it, because there's not really enough on there. See if this helps. I don't necessarily need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in here. 7's good, it's just a trap box. One left to give them a little more room, but this one had some on it. Probably the only one that had the most on it. Oh, it's gonna fit. Yeah, it went right in, so that did help. It slid right into that. It did. Like, very nicely. So cleaning those up did help. It'll slide in. It's a little tighter on this end here, but it's homemade, so you know, sometimes you try to get it perfect, but Obviously, I'm not quite square in this box. It's pretty damn square. There's a homemade lid. And there are little locks on there. Locks all the way around. So we got 4 locks. This will sit down on the grooves that I made on the bottom. Make sure our hooks are hanging. This one's not. Okay. Where we at? There it is, right there. Blood blister. Okay. And then we got it so that the hooks will hook in. I got these little Ace Hardware cheapies, but they're actually expensive and they're cheap. Cheaply made. So once I get these hooked on, like that, come out. Alright, that's a pretty nice tight fit. And that's so I can hoist it up into the tree. So I can just leave this on the ground. Go around a branch or I like to use a roller. It goes a lot easier then you can just pick this thing right up and hoist it up. I'd say it's probably about 25 pounds, which is a little much, but I think I built it strong enough so if it does fall, which it shouldn't, during hoisting or whatever, it'll take a good drop. Yeah, that top fits on there pretty nice. There's no slop to it. So this basically is ready to go up into a tree. I'll be doing a video on that next, of hanging this up into a tree. I'm hoping to do it by the weekend or over the weekend. Okay, so there's the bee trap box, which should be good to go. Pretty dry now. A little tacky, but not bad. And then we got our piece here. If I remember, that's the front. Not that it really matters, but I cheated and had marked it on here. But if I remember, it's 3 1/8 on the inside. So we'll do that. Tape measure. 3 1/8. So we'll move this. We'll just remark it from the outside. It's So there's one mark. 3 1/8. There's 2. 3 1/8. Somewhere in there. 3 1/8. It looks like I went to right here. Which should have been a 1/4 inch. Yep. So we'll go right to there. Okay. That should be it. Gotta find out for sure. We'll stick this box right on there. So that's it right there. Now what I can do is shoot my fronts down. Put some bigger bullets in here. Bigger bullets, here we go. That'll hold the front. Now I can remove the box and shoot the rest down. Like that. Looks pretty good. We'll worry about that afterwards. We'll get it shot down right now. No pokers. Nope. That should be good. One more here. So then, here's a little door. You can flip it. Less opening. 2 openings. Plus I left a little space on one side or the other so bees can come in through here too if they want. I probably should have, yeah, it's okay. Just in a little bit. Yep. Perfect. And we can leave that there, it doesn't matter. Slide that in later. It's all dry enough. Now we can set this box. Broad box there. On the bottom it sits just like that, pretty flush. It's done. And then now you can see I do got nail holes, 2 nail holes in it, so it gets tack nailed down, so raccoon, mice can't just pull that away and get in there. So basically that's how it's going to be. When you first start them out, I like to start them out with less opening, so the bees have more privacy, so to speak. A little more private for them. So we'll set it right in there. It should be good. We get 2 nails for it. Pre-drilled hole. Pre-drilled. There. Just enough to hold it. There we go. That won't come out of there. I'll be able to remove it, so don't sink those all the way down. Otherwise, it's not fun to remove them, but that's enough so an animal can't pull that off there. And this is full, it's ready. Some of the wire frames with just the wire strung across. They'll fill that in with cone. And then I take my knife and slice it out. Pretty much just like it is. Slice, slice, slice all the way down, then pull this right off, and then wax paper down, of course, and then those go for individual sale. And we can stick the medium on now. That way we can see the full box here, what it's going to look like. So it should be right in there. He's got the little opening right there. And take a chunk of wax. It's all new paint here, so I'm going to melt some wax. Get it on the front. I swear these things are junk. Get some wax on there. Same with that bottom. Just a little smell. Just like that. And then we can now melt around it like so. That smells like good old honey, which it is. Wax and honey. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. Right down there, and that's it. This surely is ready for its top. Oh yeah. Yep, here it is. We even did a whitish orange around the ring, so this I know goes with this hive. Not that it matters, but a little extra honey in there. missing one top. Now I just gotta locate another top for that. Not sure. I got 3, 4. I got one hiding somewhere. A little strange. Oh, just the top of the beehive box. I'm missing the top. Right there. On your racket. You're almost stepping on it. Oh, thank you. Yep. I had parts on it. There we are. That's why I couldn't see it. There is another hive. All smelling good there for the bees. Parts and parts and parts and bee boxes, eh? Oh. This one's pretty much ready to go out too. I got this one closed off for now. This hole here is closed off from the inside. We got one opening for them. 2 at the bottom, of course. And you can always close this off too. If you don't end up getting bees in right away, you can unnail that, undo your tack nails down here and slide that in so there's no opening on the bottom. And then vice versa, you can have them come in through the deep in the broad box there. But it doesn't really matter. Once the queen's in there, then I'll keep her in there. Oh guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab me a sandwich. am starting. Got hungry belly going on, if you know what I mean. Probably have me a honey sandwich. Well, I can get the other box right here. One with a rope on it. All right, break time for me. I'll be back. Oh, that was good. Food always makes you feel good. Oh, that was not too bad. Anybody still watching? We got one hanging in there, eh? How we doing today? Well, you might have been the one watching the most, maybe. Hard saying, but somebody's hanging in out there. Ah. Well, cool. We got this one done. We can kind of take it back apart. Get it ready to move out here tomorrow, probably. Let's see if I can He-Man this whole thing. Oh, yep. That stayed in place pretty good, so I didn't do too bad. So there's that. What am I now? What am I gonna do? Oh, there goes dinner. I'm not even sure what time it is right now. $7:30 already, huh? Holy. Here, I thought I got a little more done. Yeah. Oh. Excuse me. Holy. Can't hold those babies in. Now we're done with our little osculator here. This is a fancy tool to have. I'm sure everybody's seen those, but man, do I love these tools. I always store it backwards in the bag. Good little tool to have. And put tools away. That lid fits pretty dang tight on there, which is good. That's what we want. Actually made it to 70 almost today, which is awesome. Almost 70. think we had our first nicest day about a month and a half ago. It was 71 or something. Still hasn't beat our record. Surprised. I'll probably take another here in a minute. I can angle that up a little bit there. So I got to make some more deep frames on that one. I had to rob them from this box for this box, so just about bee season. Bee seasoning. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to build another one of these boxes here. But I'm going to build it for, I think, 5 frames wide. So I'm going to make one basically the same, a little bit shorter and a little more narrow. It'll still hold the whole colony. Most of them. This was ready to go. Ready to go. Yep. I could do that fancy stuff too, huh? Something to think about. Yeah. You can do that all the way around on the sides. Not that it needs it, but see how that fits in there? Right in there. That eyelet holds it in there real good. That won't get in the way either, I don't think, of the hook. I don't think that will. I don't think that'll get in the way of the hook. Because with the lid, the hook just hooks on the side of that, so I could even do a fancy 45 on there and bring it out a little more. That way this side they'll meet right on the 45. Let's see what we got. Or we could just lay them in there. Man, that holds nice. You know what it's doing though, it's just making more work, basically. But see, by 45, that corner will just come out nice, right tight. I do have enough of this stuff, so if I decide to, it'd be like beauty trim, but does it need it? No, it doesn't. Does it look cool? Kind of. This is actually parts. These right here are parts off from, so these were all together from my cabinet that slid. There's a bunch of them. But I use them for parts, usually for drying beehive boxes or whatever. Sometimes they fancy something up a little bit, make it look good. you gotta make more. Gotta make more parts, more parts. This will make some nice boxes here. Well, what can we do with this board? Oh, we can do a lot with it. I either waste that nice board and rip materials out of it, or for making the frames, or I build a whole nother box out of that board. Minus the small boards, of course, but that'll basically build the box. That's a 12-footer. Should be. Double check that. $12 3/8. So 12 foot, 20-inch box. 20, 40, 60, 80 inches. So we got, so what, 80 inches is like 6 foot 8 inches. Let's check it out. 6 foot 8 inches. Yeah, make sure my math is right, because got to keep the brain going. All right. So yeah, we would use 80 inches plus, just a little extra for the cuts. So 80 inches. How many cuts? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cuts. That's 1/8 inch, quarter inch. So probably be close to a 1/2 inch of cutting material wasted. That being said, 80 inches, so 80 and a half inches. That leaves us. We'll mark it and see. It should leave us like 5 foot 3.5. Is that right? I need a pencil. See if my brain can still work that fast. Sometimes I'll mark it and then measure. So we got 80 inches and our 1/2 inch for cut waste. Okay. And then now we'll measure from the other end of the board and see what we got left for material. 5 foot 1, 2, 3, and 7/8. So I was off. What did I say? 1/2. So I was off 3/4. Is that right? Not bad. Not bad. so it's worth 90. I'll let you have it. They do? I guess so. I don't know them. No, tell me the only way you'll give trying to make some sales here, guys. Some people, they don't know. Alright, so we got 12-foot half-inch on that. Now we just got to figure out what we want to put that material in on. And if I want a box style, box it in, or cut grooves and do that way. That's what we got to figure out. Or do I want to make another B-box frame? Which I don't think I need right now. So I think another trap box will be a good idea. give us this is a 1x8, which we know it's not actually 8 inches because they're cheapskates. They pretty much give you 7 1/4 these days. So if we doubled this up, or 7 1/4, took 2 chunks at the 20 inches long, double it, that'd give us 14 1/2. So 14 1/2 right there. This box is, I built this one at 16 3/4 tall. This would be 14 1/2. So not much shorter. 2 1/2 inches. 2 3/4 inches, that is. Shorter than that box. And less narrow because I only want to go 10 inches total. So I'll build a 10-inch box to the outside to outside 10 inches. And on the inside at 10 inches for the frames, we got 10 inches to here. Frame wise, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably a 6 frame. That'll be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So it'll be about that wide. From there. And a little shorter. Still hold a lot of these. And then we can band it together. We can band that baby together where the 2 seams come together at the 7 1/4 with another piece of 1x4, which is actually 3/4 thick. It's a 3/4 by 3 1/2. It's called a 1x4. So we can do that. That'll give us 80 inches on this board. That'll give us our 4 pieces, but we got to double up. So, son of a bitch, we'll still be short, eh? No, we won't. We'll have our 4 sides at the 80. Yep, 4 sides. That'll give us all 4 sides, and then out of the, where's our mark at? At the 80 inches, there it is. Okay, 80 1/2 is what we talked about with the saw cut. And that leaves us with the 5'3" 7/8. So what am I saying that? 5'3" 7/8 is what we got left over for across our 10 inches. So we will have enough because we're only going 10 inches. Which you got to count the 3/4 on there too. So technically, our 10 inches here. The hell was that? Must have been music, huh? Alright, so back to brain work. At our 10 inches, here we are. We'll mark it with a finger. We'll see how much inside room. So now we got to take off. That gives us 9 1/4 inches there. Minus another 3/4. Correcto? Yep. 9 1/4. Minus the 3/4. 1. 8 3/4 is a 1/2 inch. And then 8 1/2 inside measurement with our 3/4 off. So 8 1/2 is our inside measurement. Guess I like to check it that way because, yep, so 8 1/2. So remember that 8 1/2. On the inside at 8 1/2, and we can see the 8.5 inches. We'll put a little mark so it won't hurt nothing. That gives us exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 frames deep. Fits perfect. That's what you want. Yep, so that'll be our inside measurement of our new box. Not this box, of course. There it is. 8.5 inches. Right to that mark. Bingo. And looks like it'll have just enough wiggle room. Just about 1/8 of an inch. A little more than 1/8. That's great. That way these will have a little bit of wiggle room on the other box. So yep, that'll work. 8.5 inch inside measurement, 10-inch outside. And of course we're going by the same 20 inches so our frames fit in. And then on the top of the board, on 2 of those boards, we're going to have to groove the same thing. Groove down 3/4 of an inch so that the frames sit down underneath the box and bees can still crawl around through, that kind of thing, cross over. So that's kind of important to have that. That's why I go 3/4 down. This sits in 1/4 inch. They still have 1/2 inch almost of room to do their thing. It is tight quarters in there. I mean, imagine being in that son of a gun. Dark in there too at that. Dark. Dark, dark, dark. So yep, I think that's what we can do. And then I'll have to order more foundations. I'll make the frames. So I'll order, like I said, I'll order probably 30 more foundations. I'll also make it 40, 20 mediums and 20 deeps. Because that'll give us another extra trap box. And then eventually, 2 should be plenty, but I think I'll build 3 trap boxes total. We'll get 2 started, then we can take our time in the 3rd one. And take care of those brushes. Wrap those babies up. Got them re-cleaned. They're a little stained, but use them for beehives. I mean, it's clean. It won't leave no other colors or nothing. I actually use kerosene. I think it works better. breaking in boots. I actually hate breaking in boots. They feel good, but the break-in period, retying, fun stuff. Okay, so I think that's honestly what we'll do. We're going to go 20 inches on these cuts. We want to be sure, and I know it's 20 inches. We got 20 inches total, yep, 20 inches. Right on 20 inches. We don't care about width because we're doing our own width. Number 10 inches, 8.5 on the inside. Does that make sense? Yeah. 8.5 on the inside at 10. Sure does. Add 3/4 and 3/4 on there from 8.5. Sure hoping, let's see. 8.5 to 9.5. There's an inch. We got another 1/2 an inch. So let's see where we're getting this from. Well, we're going 10 inches total. So take our 3/4 off, it's 9.25. Another 3/4 off is 8.5. So that makes sense. I like to double check, triple check that math because, you know, I'll make a mistake. And then it's too late because there goes your board. So 20 inches. On it. Get the chop saw ready. Chop saw. Good. Gotta do it on the floor. Inches, and we'll square these ones. First thing you want to always do is make sure that the end of that board is square. It's not perfect, so we're gonna recut this end just enough to square it up. Check it with that square. That's square now. It's pretty freaking square. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift that other end of the board up. Try getting a cut on something like that. So we'll put a prop board up down here, kind of hold the weight of that board up. Get our first one measured out here. just over, so I'm gonna. There's our first one. It's our block of wood here. And we're going another 20. We could cut just a hair off that if we wanted to. We're just over. There's two. I almost messed up just now. Want to make sure. Cut and measure. Measure and cut. Right on 20. Nice. There's three. This will be our fourth. Measure again before we cut. Right on the 20. Okay. Cut and measure. We're just over that. So we'll nip this off just a little. Okay. Still just over. So it's gonna clean this up now. those. I need to still put that chop saw up on that potato. I got a stand for it, but I had so many beehives in here, and with the trucks and everything. And quads and all that crap. This is what we got left. Which, I'm curious, it should be 5. Our measurement was, our leftover measurement, 5'3". And 3/4, was it? See the guy. 5'3". In between 5/8 and 3/4. So, not bad. I had to trim up. Remember, I made a couple little extra millimeter cuts there, but so that's our leftover. Here's our new sides. They look to be cut pretty precise. Yep. Those definitely will make a box. Another box. So then what we'll do, these guys will put them together just like that. And then we'll band it together with a furring strip right there. And that'll be actually one side to a new box. Trap box. And then we'll do the same thing to them 2 pieces. That'll give us the 2 long sides. And this will be for our ends, which we have enough material for 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll have our complete squared box after that. We're looking for, our next cuts are 10 inches. Yep, 10-inch cuts. That's our next thing to do. That's what she said. Alright, so that's what we'll do. Right on 10 there. If that's what we want, I think it'll be good. Yep. 10 inches. Do it again. Almost out of line. Make sure, measure again. There. Basically leave the line. And 3, one more. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Good. 10 inches right there. You leave the line. Every time I leave the line, I gotta recut though. But that's alright. Right on the money. There's 4. And we left with this out of that board. So, off my fucking knees. We're done with that guy. Put him back. There we go. And leftovers. So we do have enough leftovers to, yep, what we got. Put this guy right over here. There. Top her back on. Got our new pieces cut, and then I see one in there that might need to be re-nipped right there. Damn it. But gotta do it. Better. Pretty good. That is going to be the new trap box. It's only going to be that wide. See that? It's only that wide. 8.5 on the inside, 10 total. So it's going to be a little narrow thing, but got our sides there. These will be put together like so. And we'll add a hole for the bees to go into. Put a gauge on it. We got that. Now I got to make some. So we got 10 inches, and then if we're gonna band these together, I need the front ones to carry past the 3/4 on each side. So 3/4 and 3/4 is 1.5 inches. Yep. So we'll go 1.5 inches from 10, so 11.5. So our pieces are 11.5 inches. 3/4 past. Right there. 3/4 past, it's 11.5. Exactly how you check that math. And that'll give us the piece to put these together across and have that screw into the next piece. Also, this smaller piece that goes across the front here, like so. It would be basically like that. Cut 11.5, and then that will joint, be screwed in, nailed, or whatever into the next board. I'll use that for that. See, I needed, oh, I ain't gonna have enough of that though, am I? I gotta do 2 20-inch sides. I gotta go look for more material. This is left over. Good news is, I don't waste no material, so at least I'll make some more of these out of what's left. Be a little bit of wasted material, but not much. Still be able to make 6 of those or so, 7 maybe, out of that later on. So we need some more material there, which I do have. This one's already stained and everything. I think we might use that one. It's a full 8-footer. I always try using pieces first, if I can. Never know when you're going to need a full 8-footer, you know. So I'm going to go check for pieces, I think. And I guess I gotta run to the store too at some point here. There we go. Looking for materials. I gotta go out to the barn, and that's gonna take a while. So store duties are calling. Thought I had maybe a couple under here. I will continue this later. I gotta run to the store. We'll catch you guys here in a little while. Stay tuned for the next one.